Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we're going to do a bridge rectifier on Bally. This is actually strikes and spares, but bridge rectifiers on Bally's are pretty much all the same. Best thing to do is get this out of the machine and put it on a table and get the rectifier loose. What you're going to have to do is remove these 3 screws that are screwed to the plate there. I should have cleaned the plate off. I will do that right now because that paste is just messy crap that you don't want all over you while you're working. This junk is just sticky, nasty. As you can see, there was a little burn on this board at one time. Alright, I'm going to show you the quickest, easiest way to do this. I know it looks scary because you got all these wires. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the wires. There's a little loom right here that's kind of holding them both together in the middle. Just a little wire tie. I'm going to cut that. There, see, just a little wire tie. Plastic wire tie. We're just going to get that completely out of the way. Oh, here's another one. There. Because we want all these wires to be as free as possible. There. I think they're all pretty much free as we need them. I can always zip tie them back on when we get the new board on. Alright. First thing, we're going to go by sides. What I mean by sides is we got this side that's bundled, as you can see, and then this side that's bundled. We're going to do one side at a time. Just makes it easier. Another thing is a piece of paper and a pen. What we're going to do first is, what side should we do? Let's figure out what this E11 is. Should be the exact same on this board, yes. E11 is on this board. So we're going to do the first thing, E11. What color is that? So we're going to start with the side closest to me. Now I'm going to take my pen and paper. I'm going to write E11 down. That way I know I am on that wire to begin with. So, I'm going to flip it over. We're going to find E11. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can use a solder sucker, heat up that E11, get that loose, so we can get that out, which didn't seem to work too good because that is just all buggered up in there. I'll just heat it up from this side. And you know what the trick is too. You can just put extra solder on a joint and it will heat it up and make it pull out. That one is just stuck on there like glue. Another side. So you can do that and then pull the wire off. But what I'm going to do is I'm just cutting it off. Just like that. Because you know what? I got this new board and I want to have a great connection. So I'm just gonna cut the wire off and just make a brand new connection. With these thin wires, I like cutting them off a little bit longer, as you can see how long it is. And I'm going to bend it over in half. And that will make that little wire just a little fatter. Now what I'll do now, oh, is that thing heavy? Make it easier, E11, since we just worked on that. Try to keep all my junk over here. I'm going to take my solder and heat this up. We're going to fill in E11. See there? I just filled that in. Now, E11 on this board also is on the back. If I can get my camera to focus in. There we go. Right there. E11 is also right there. So now I can just take my board and flip it over. This is the fun part. Now I'll solder it from the back. There. Now we got one wire attached already. And that's good on this side. Actually, I kind of made that wire a little bit too long. So I'm going to redo it. I made it way too long. I made the strands way too long. Because it's just like poking out the other side, really gross looking. And I don't want that. So I forgot how thin this board is. So I'm going to take that and make it half the size, which is there. You know, it's kind of hard to see. Now we will poke it through. I'll get this board hot so that hole is liquid. There. And then we'll solder it on. Look at that, it all leaked out. I did use too much solder. There. Boy, did that look like some hack work. I want to show you what that looks like now. There, now that looks pretty. And then the wire is still attached to the back. So you can do that on all the connections. So we got E11 done, so I'm going to cross that out. And then the next one that we're going to do off that one, which is just going to be a pain in the butt, is going to be, yeah, this is just going to be a really fun mark. I'm showing people how to do this the fun way, and it's not going to be the fun way. So we're just going to have to cut most of this loom apart so we can actually have some wires to work with. You can always put this back together. There. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we got room to work with. So, alright, next wire. Let's we'll get this fatty green one right here, which is E10. E10. Alright, I got E10 written down. So we'll snip E10 off. Cut a little bit more of that off. And we will strip that one. This is kind of a fatty wire to begin with. So you don't need that much on it. There. Now E10 on this board, it's got two different spots on it, which is okay. So we will just fill in one of them. It doesn't matter. Let's just do this one. There. Now we will take E10. Make sure you don't cut your wires. That's the only thing I'm afraid of doing. Oh, let's just pull it out. There. Now we'll take E10 and we will put it in there. It's not going to stick good because you pushed a lot of the solder through. It's probably going to be a mess on the other side just like before. Let that cool. There. We have a nice blob on that side. Looks beautiful. This side is beautiful. The wire is soldered in there good. That one's good. Let's get a little bit of I should have really just tinned the wires before I put them in. There. Yeah, it still looks nice on the other side. Alright, E10. We'll cross that off. And then we'll hit this wire here since it's kind of like in the way. That was E12. Write E12 down. Cut the wire off. Since this is a small one again, we will strip a little bit more off. We're going to do it different this time. We're going to fold it over the exact same way again. This time I'm going to tin it. There. And what did I say we were on? We were on E12. See? It's easy to forget. So we'll do the same thing with E12. Heat up the board a little bit. There. We'll heat up the board again. Get that solder loose. Dunk her right in there. And this side looks beautiful already. Yeah, I don't even need to touch that. So yeah, we'll just go from 1 to 1 on that. So next one, out of this one, let's get this fatty right here. This fatty orange. which is E9. Cross out E12, I'll write E9. We'll cut off E9. We'll give her a little strip. I don't know why this thing just likes to stick. All the old wire likes to stick to the, what do you call it, my wire stripper. There. E9. E9's here. It's always good to verify on your new board and your old board that they're kind of in the exact same spots. Because they should be. They really should be. If your board's like kind of identical, they should go back in the same general area. Yeah, and that looks nice too. So yeah, I'm just going to go from wire to wire, and when I get done with one side of this, I will show you what it looks like. Alright, you can see we got half of it already soldered onto the board. It's pretty nice actually. We got the board separated. I needed this thing to help me solder the wires because they were flopping all over the place. But yeah, you can see how it's just going to lay right back down, right on there real nice. So now since we got these, let's kind of group them together a little bit. How they were. Because they're not tangled up anymore and intertwined like they kind of were. I'm going to leave this disconnected like that again. So let's get this moved over here, and we'll grab a new wire, which is, looks like E6. There's my progress so far. We'll go to E6. We'll cut off E6. Make sure it is E6 again. Get our stripper. Get a decent strip on it. I prefer these strippers over, I have a gun that's like a stripper with like a trigger. That thing actually cuts these wires. I don't like it at all. I've been trying to use it on these little wires, and it just like cuts them. So I kind of like gave up on it. There, and we said E7. Where is E7? Oh, we're on E6. Dumbass. I call myself a dumbass. My last one I did was E7, which is right there. So we're going to go to E6, which is right here. And that was the same on this board. So we're doing the same thing. I'm going to add a little to solder that hole. We'll unclip that. Heat that up. Get it in there. A little bit more to it. Remember, do a wiggle test on all these too, and we got a good point right there already. So let's cross out E6. Next one is going to be this little greenie right here, and that is E5. E5. Cut that off again. Also, by leaving a little bit of wire on your old rectifier board, it gives you kind of like a little roadmap of what you just did. Because it kind of shows you what you have cut off and what you haven't cut off. I know some people are just, they can cut off this whole harness and do it, but that's not me. I'm smart, but man, I'm not that smart. I don't give myself that much credit. E6, E5, mark. Well, remember what you're doing. That's why I'm writing it down. See, it's even good for me. I'm writing it down and forgetting which one I just did. There we go. I'll give her a little bit on the side. There. I just like the way that looks a little bit better. Alright, E5's done. E5. And we'll go back and I'll do it all the other ones and then we'll show you the final result. Alright, we're back. As you can see, this is no more, and this is the new. So let's get these bundled up a little bit. I don't know what exactly we're going to be able to do too much on here. It's not going to really matter too much because this is going to go down, but I kind of want to get them somewhat neat looking. I don't think it's going to really matter too much, you know what I mean? I don't know if that was something that they did like before in the factory. And this was, I'm guessing this was soldered on first and then this was last. So it made it a little bit easier for them to do the harness this way. Maybe, maybe not. But you want to just make sure all these are in there good. I'm going to pull on every single one of them good. Because if they're loose, I want to pull them out. And they're not. So right, those are all like that. That's going to go like that. And then this should just snap down. In there. However, I'm getting a little resistance from the harness. So I want to see why. Is it because I bunched it too tight on one side? maybe I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking that, what is something over here? Yeah, I think it's just because I bunched it over there. It just feels like it, but it isn't. Yeah. And I can visually see right there that nothing metal is touching, you know, none of the new board is touching the harness or anything. I just want to make sure to push down on each one of these to get it to pop up and make sure it's locked. And then that's it. That is a new rectifier on your Bally transformer assembly. I will put a link in the bottom of this video where you can see where I built this. This was a Weebly kit. It comes just as a board and a bag of pieces, and you have to put all this on. So yeah, that's kind of fun. But it is a beautiful board. It's basically the same thing, except for this is a rectifier and that's a rectifier. It's just kind of like in raw form. It's the same thing as one of these. But this is basically what is in one. And then there's one here with a giant heat sink on it. So, but yeah, these are really nice kits. You can just see how rude and crude these old ones were. But hey, this did the job up until now. It still was working, it still was delivering the power good, except for this has been worked on a little bit, and the contacts are all corroded, and it's been once done over once before, so garbage. We got a nice new one on there. So there'll be some cool stuff along the bottom. Give me a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Just even give me just a like. The like helps me a lot with all the YouTube doodad algorithm stuff. So yeah, at least give a like. Please subscribe. Take care. Thumbs up and later.